this week, the current U.S. president threatened to issue tariffs. Actually, last week he issued the threats, and uh, he threatened to issue tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China over the illegal drug transportation. I found it interesting that last week the tariffs were used, and the president of Colombia stated that he was not going to allow illegal immigrants to be repatriated to his country. His complaints lasted all of a few hours, and the Colombian president had uh, he had refused to allow U.S. planes to land in Colombia. That, like I said, lasted a few hours, and those planes ended up landing. The current U.S. president prepared to issue tariffs on our neighbors and on China. Again, I thought Mexico would take a few days to negotiate a better deal. Instead, it took the Mexican president, Claudia Sheinbaum, only a few hours to capitulate. Now, and Canada, similar. A lot of blustering, and then the Canadian Prime Minister took a few hours, and they negotiated a deal, and the tariffs were put on hold for 30 days. Now, I also found it interesting that what they agreed to was essentially what they agreed to a few months ago. Both of them, both Mexico and Canada. There were a couple of little wrinkles, and in fact, it ended up that the United States agreed to fund, I think, $240 million, $248 million in part of the ongoing uh, interdiction of drugs across the border. Now, but this allowed something very, very interesting. Within hours of this agreement coming through, Mexico saw U.S. intelligence aircraft flying in Mexican airspace. They were running what's called a racetrack. It's a route north. This one was north to south over Baja California, which is the southern end of the peninsula, the California Peninsula, which resides in Mexico. That's Mexican airspace. Now, the aircraft in question is a RC-135 Rivet Joint. It is one of the most advanced aircraft in the world. The airframe itself is probably ancient. It is an old Boeing 707 that who knows when it was bought, but it's reconfigured with the most advanced sensors in the world, and they're sitting there listening and collecting data. This kind of aircraft is a precursor. They're identifying targets, finding out who's talking to whom, and they're they're finding out where they live, so they can prepare for direct action operations. I would not doubt it if in the next few weeks you start seeing things blow up in Mexico. And I now the question is, how big of explosions are they going to be? Very well could be very small explosions, or could be some very big explosions. But that's what this kind of airframe indicates. That right now it is Rivet. It's also interesting that we can see it because if they wanted to keep it secret, they could flip off their transponder and nobody know that it was there. They they obviously want the cartels to know that they're watching them. They're paying attention to them. And it's now may be a good time if you're a cartel member, if you work for the cartel in any way, to check your life insurance policy and maybe get it upgraded a little bit. Uh, Things don't look good for you. The While many people are gonna, many people are gonna question the motives and actions of any politician. It is Things have changed, and things are going to continue to change. Again, I hope that you guys are doing well. This is my short video, but the tariffs that were threatened to be waged, they did get some things done, and we'll see what happens in the near future. Again, things are changing around the world. Cartels have not been under this kind of threat in the past, and in fact, many of the presidents in the past have been working with cartels, and I hate to tell you how they've been working with the cartels. I hope that you guys are doing well and that you're preparing for these changes. And please like, share, and subscribe. Again, this is Jeff Rains with Foundation of Civilization. Much love to everybody.